The Italian senior fitness secret that transformed 89-year-old Maria from bedridden to dancing at her great-granddaughter's wedding in just 6 months might be the most powerful anti-aging discovery you'll hear today. But first, subscribe to this channel because what I'm about to reveal could literally add decades of vitality to your golden years, and trust me, your future self will thank you for clicking that button right now. What makes this Italian approach to senior fitness routine so revolutionary isn't just that it works at any age, it's that it completely flips everything you've been told about exercise after 65 on its head, and the medical establishment doesn't want you to know why it's so effective because it threatens a billion-dollar industry built on keeping seniors dependent and sedentary. Picture this. You're walking through the cobblestone streets of a small Italian village at sunset, and everywhere you look, you see something that would shock most Americans. 80-year-olds carrying heavy grocery bags up steep hills, 75-year-old women hanging laundry on lines 3 stories high, 90-year-old men tending to sprawling vegetable gardens with the energy of someone half their age. And here's the kicker. None of them are doing what we call exercise in the traditional sense, yet they're stronger, more flexible, and more energetic than most 50-year-olds in America. The secret isn't found in any gym membership, expensive equipment, or complicated workout routine that requires you to grunt and sweat for hours. In fact, the moment you start thinking of this as exercise, you've already missed the point entirely, because what these Italian seniors have discovered is something so simple, so natural, and so integrated into daily life that it doesn't feel like work at all. Yet it delivers results that would make personal trainers weep with envy. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is the part that might make you angry when you realize how long you've been lied to. The fitness industry has convinced us that aging means inevitable decline, that our bodies are like cars that break down and need constant repairs, that we should accept weakness, stiffness, and fatigue as normal parts of getting older, when the truth is that your body is more like a river. It only stagnates when it stops flowing, and the Italians have figured out how to keep that river flowing strong well into their 90s and beyond. Maria's story began 3 years ago, when she could barely walk to her mailbox without getting winded. Her doctor had put her on 6 different medications. Her children were discussing assisted living facilities, and she had resigned herself to spending her remaining years watching life pass by from her living room window. Sound familiar? Then her grandson, who had been studying in Italy, came home with a radical idea that her family thought was crazy, but that would change everything. Instead of trying to fix her weakness with more medicine and more rest, what if they helped her rediscover her natural strength the way Italian nanas have been doing for centuries? The transformation didn't happen overnight, but within the first month something shifted, not just in her body, but in her entire relationship with movement. And by month 3, neighbors were stopping by just to see the woman who used to need help getting out of her chair, now pruning her rose bushes with the grace of someone decades younger. Here's what they discovered, and this is the part that will probably surprise you most. The Italian senior fitness secret isn't based on high-impact cardio, heavy weightlifting, or any of the punishment-based approaches that dominate American fitness culture. Instead, it's built on something called movimento natural, natural movement patterns that your body was designed to do, movements that flow like water, that feel more like play than work, that strengthen your core, improve your balance, and increase your flexibility without ever making you feel like you're suffering through a workout. Think about how Italian seniors move through their day. They're constantly reaching, bending, twisting, lifting, carrying, and stretching in ways that engage every muscle group, but they're doing it while making pasta, tending gardens, hanging laundry, or playing with grandchildren. Their fitness is woven into the fabric of living, not separated from it like some chore to be endured. The science behind why this works is absolutely fascinating, and when you understand it, you'll never look at exercise the same way again. When we isolate movements in a gym setting, we're teaching our muscles to work independently. But life doesn't happen in isolation. Life requires integrated strength, the ability to coordinate multiple muscle groups simultaneously while maintaining balance, breathing naturally, and actually enjoying what you're doing. Italian seniors have maintained this integrated approach to movement throughout their lives. which is why an 85-year-old Italian grandmother can outperform a 65-year-old American retiree who's been dutifully going to the gym 3 times a week for years. It's not about the intensity of the exercise, it's about the intelligence of the movement patterns and how they serve real-life function rather than artificial gym goals. But here's the really exciting part. And this is where hope enters the picture, even if you're starting from a place of weakness or limitation. Your body has an incredible capacity for adaptation at any age. And the Italian approach works specifically because it honors where you are right now while gently coaxing your system toward greater strength and vitality. It doesn't demand that you become someone you're not. It helps you remember who you've always been underneath the layers of sedentary living and cultural programming about aging. The first principle of the Italian senior fitness secret is what they call micro-progressions, and this alone could revolutionize how you think about getting stronger. Instead of trying to make dramatic changes that your body rebels against, you make tiny improvements that are so small they're almost imperceptible, like spending 2 extra minutes standing while you read the morning paper, or reaching a little higher when you put dishes away, or taking the scenic route that includes one small hill instead of the flat path. These micro-progressions add up over time to create dramatic transformations without ever triggering your body's stress response. The second principle is functional beauty, which means that every movement serves a purpose beyond just burning calories or building muscle. When you're kneading bread, you're strengthening your hands and forearms while creating something nourishing. When you're sweeping your porch, you're improving your core stability while caring for your environment. When you're reaching to hang curtains, you're increasing shoulder mobility while making your home more beautiful. This connection between movement and meaning is what makes the Italian approach so sustainable and so joyful. Maria discovered that the more she embraced these principles, the more her body began to remember what it was capable of. And here's something that might give you chills. By month 6, she wasn't just stronger and more flexible. She was experiencing what she described as a return to herself, as if she had been living in a fog for years and was finally seeing clearly again. Her energy levels soared, her sleep improved, her mood lifted, and that spark in her eyes that her family thought was gone forever came blazing back to life. The third principle, and this might be the most important one for those of you who have been struggling with motivation, is community integration. Italian seniors don't exercise alone. They move through life surrounded by family and friends who expect them to be active participants, not passive observers. They're needed, they're valued for their contribution, and their movement serves not just themselves, but their loved ones, which creates a powerful psychological incentive that no gym membership can match. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds wonderful, but I don't live in Italy. I don't have a big extended family, and my daily life doesn't naturally include all these movement opportunities. And that's a valid concern. But here's the beautiful thing. You can create your own version of the Italian senior fitness secret right where you are, starting with what you have. And the changes you make don't have to be dramatic to be life-changing. The key is to start looking at your existing daily activities through new eyes. How can you add a little more reach, a little more balance challenge, a little more core engagement to things you're already doing? When you brush your teeth, can you stand on one foot for part of the time to improve your balance? When you're waiting for your coffee to brew, can you do some gentle stretching or marching in place? When you're watching television, can you sit on the floor sometimes instead of in a chair? Or do some gentle movements during commercial breaks? These might seem like tiny changes, but remember, Italian seniors built their incredible fitness through tiny, consistent choices repeated thousands of times over decades. And while you might not have decades, you can absolutely start seeing improvements in weeks when you apply these principles consistently. The fourth principle is what they call seasonal adaptation, which recognizes that your body's needs and capabilities change not just with age, but with the natural rhythms of life. And instead of fighting against these changes, you learn to flow with them. In spring, you might focus more on flexibility and renewal, like gentle stretching and outdoor walking. In summer, you might embrace more dynamic activities. In fall, you might concentrate on building strength for the winter months. And in winter, You might focus on maintenance and indoor activities that keep you moving without overexertion. This seasonal approach prevents the boom and bust cycle that destroys so many fitness efforts. You know, that pattern where you start strong in January, burn out by March, feel guilty all summer, and promise to start again next year. Instead, you develop a sustainable relationship with movement that honors your body's natural rhythms and keeps you engaged year-round. Maria's transformation didn't end with physical improvements. As her body grew stronger, her confidence returned. She started cooking elaborate meals again. She began traveling to visit friends she hadn't seen in years. She started volunteering at her church. And most remarkably, she began teaching other seniors in her community about the principles she had learned, creating her own little version of the Italian approach right there in suburban Ohio. Here's something that might surprise you. The Italian senior fitness secret isn't really about fitness at all. It's about reclaiming your birthright as a human being to move through the world with strength, grace, and purpose, regardless of your chronological age. It's about refusing to accept the cultural narrative that says your best years are behind you. And it's about understanding that vitality isn't something that happens to you. It's something you cultivate through conscious choices made moment by moment, day by day, year after year. The research backing this approach is overwhelming. Studies show that seniors who maintain regular functional movement patterns have significantly lower rates of falls, fractures, cognitive decline, depression, and chronic disease. They live longer, sleep better, have more energy, maintain their independence longer, and report higher levels of life satisfaction. But more importantly, they maintain their dignity and their sense of self-worth because they remain active contributors to their communities rather than passive recipients of care. So, here's what I want you to do right now, and this is where your transformation begins. Look around your living space and identify 3 activities you do every day that could become opportunities for natural movement. Maybe it's making your bed with a little more reach and stretch. Maybe it's walking to check your mail with more attention to your posture and breathing. Maybe it's doing dishes with some gentle calf raises or marching in place. The specific activities don't matter as much as your willingness to start seeing movement as medicine and daily life as your gymnasium. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, instead of immediately reaching for your phone or rushing into your day, spend just 2 minutes doing gentle stretches in bed, reach your arms overhead, pull your knees to your chest, roll your ankles, twist your spine gently from side to side. This isn't about becoming an athlete. It's about honoring your body and starting each day with intention and care. As you move through your day, ask yourself this question that Maria learned to ask. How can I make this movement serve me better? Whether you're reaching for something in a cabinet, walking to the car, or standing up from a chair, there's always an opportunity to engage your core a little more. Improve your posture, or add a gentle challenge that makes your body work just a little harder in a good way. Remember, the Italian seniors who inspired this approach didn't become strong overnight, but they also didn't wait until they felt strong to start moving. They moved, and then they became strong, and that's exactly what you can do too, starting right now, starting where you are, with what you have, one small natural movement at a time. Your body is waiting for you to rediscover what it's capable of. Your future self is counting on the choices you make today, and somewhere in Italy, an 89-year-old nonna is dancing at a wedding, living proof that it's never too late to reclaim your strength, your vitality, and your joy in movement. So what are you waiting for?